Objective 1.5. In this one, example number 3 says, given f of x equals negative 5x plus 3 and g of x equals 3x squared, find f of g of x. Notice that this one is different because we have an x here, a variable, instead of the numbers that we had last time. Again, the first step is to rewrite. F of g of x equals f of g of x. Close, close. Put your blinders on. What do we see on the inside? Just g of x. And we know what g of x is because that's given to us. G of x is right there. It's 3x squared. So just take 3x squared and substitute it into the problem. 3x squared. That's still inside of the f right there. Now, this is the same thing as we've seen before. It says find function f, that's right here, and plug into function f whatever is inside these parentheses. In this case, it's 3x squared. Sometimes it's just a number, like we've seen before, but this time there's a variable. That doesn't change anything. We still just substitute it into function f in place of x. So negative 5, and then instead of x, I put 3x squared in parentheses, and then plus 3, still coming from function f there. Now the only thing I need to do is simplify. Negative 5 times 3x squared is negative 15x squared plus 3. That is your final answer. F of g of x equals negative 15x squared plus 3. On the next problem, we do the same thing. Given p of x equals 1 over 5 minus x, and j of x equals 2x minus 3, find p of j of x. First step, rewrite. P of j of x equals p of j of x. Put on your blinders. All I see on the inside is j of x, and we're given j of x right here, so just fill it in. 2x minus 3. Close parentheses, and that's still inside the p. Now this says find function p, which is right here, and plug in 2x minus 3 into that function. 1 over 5 minus 2x minus 3. Put that whole thing in there and put it all in parentheses. Now, the only thing left to do is simplify this, and it's important to remember that because there's these parentheses here and the minus sign, we need to distribute that negative. And the best way to do that is to imagine that there's a negative 1 in front of the parentheses. That doesn't change the value because multiplying by 1 doesn't change anything. So we just multiply this negative 1 here and here. It's called distribution. So we still have the 1 over, and the 5 comes down as well. But now, negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. And negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. Now we can combine like terms. Remember, like terms have the same variables and the same exponents. Both the 5 and the 3 do not have a variable, so we can combine those to be 8. And then minus 2x. Remember that you take the sign in front of the numbers to figure out their sign. So this is a positive 5 and a positive 3 that combine together to be 8. And the negative 2 just comes down. That's your answer. P of j of x equals 1 over 8 minus 2x. As a little bit of a summary, you know that if the question looks like this, with a number in the composition, the answer will have a number. Or it will be a number. It won't just have one, it'll just be a single number. However, if you have a variable like this, the answer will have a variable. in it. So we notice that this has a variable in it because there's a variable in the problem. This one has a variable in it because there's a variable in the problem. But the ones on the front had numbers as the answers because there were just numbers in the problem. So that's objective 1.1.